Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this week's installment of
Tapes.
Tapes. My name is Jaden Calderon,
And my name is Anthony Santos.
and now we will be speaking about Unit
Unit
8,
8
Aquatic and Terrestrial Pollution.
Yes.
So Anthony, tell us, how much does this weigh on the exam?
So, actually, this unit of apes accounts for 7 to 10% of the questions.
And now tell me what that means.
I actually figured it out what it means. I actually figured out what it means. So, like, depending on the percentages, that's going to be the amount of questions that's going to be on the exam. Like, 7 to 10% of the questions might be about it.
How many questions is that?
There's no specific amount, bitch. Like, I'm gonna kill you.
That's the new thing. I ask you every time you say the
Literally every time. Every time.
So
I'm just gonna say I don't know next time.
I think it's time to get into it.
Yes.
So
Jaden, tell us.
So since we were talking about aquatic and terrestrial pollution, that what lesson talked about the terrestrial biomes?
Terrestrial biomes.
Yes. What unit was that?
What unit? Terrestrial biomes. I want to say. I want to say unit. Let me see. Unit 2.
Was it two? So we're gonna
Terrestrial
say
biomes.
unit 2, but that could be wrong. So we're gonna take what you learned from that unit.
Oh no,
and
it's unit 1.
Oh, unit 1. Okay, so we're gonna take
Literally the
what you
first unit.
learned from that unit, and we're gonna show you how humans always fuck up. Oh, I can't say that. So let's get into it. So the first lesson, 8.1, sources of pollution, we will discuss the point and non-point source pollution and the differences between those sources. Then followed up in 8.2, we will examine how aquatic organisms such as coral reefs have a tolerance range for conditions like dissolved oxygen and pollutants. Following up in this lesson, we will discuss the impacts of oil spills and sedimentation on aquatic ecosystems and economies. Then for 8.2, ooh, cut that out. And then followed up in this lesson, we will discuss the sources and impacts of heavy metals, mercury and litter on aquatic environments. Followed up in 8.3, endocrine disruptions. We will discuss the chemicals known as endocrine disruptors and examine their effects on ecosystems. After that lesson, 8.4, we will define the characteristics of wetlands while exploring their ecological services. After that, we will discuss sources and impacts of human-associated threats to wetlands and mangrove communities, because humans are always messing things up. We are the problem. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Anthony's mic got cut.
Yeah, they cut my mic. Like, what y'all here being messy for?
After that, in 8.5, eutrophication, we will discuss the human activities that lead to eutrophication of our surface waters. And then we will explore the processes that decrease dissolved oxygen levels, which can be deadly to aquatic organisms. Followed up in thermal pollution, we will discuss sources and impacts of thermal pollution. And then followed up in 8.7, we will define what a persistent organic we will define what a persistent organic pollutant is, then discuss common types of persistent organic pollutants. After that, we will discuss the impacts of persistent organic pollutants on non-target organisms. Then after, in 8.8, bioaccumulation and biomagnification, we will explore the processes of bioaccumulation and biomagnification, then identify the common substances that can bioaccumulate. And then in the next little something, we will discuss the impacts bioaccumulation and biomagnification have on the environment and on human health. We learned about biomagnification in a prior unit. Yeah, we did.
No, we have to talk about biomagnification.
I thought we talked about biomagnification in a prior unit.
It was mentioned.
Yeah, I know. We
mentioned.
Have to
talk about it.
It was mentioned in a prior unit. I don't know,
look at it.
But let's continue. After that, in 8.9, we will identify different types of solid waste and discuss management of solid waste via sanitary landfills. And we will discuss alternative alternative methods of solid waste management, and then we will discuss the effects of solid waste disposal methods. And then in 8.10, waste reduction methods, we will discuss the removal of materials from the solid waste streams re, via reuse, recycling, and composting, then identify potential drawbacks to these methods. And then following that up, we will discuss strategies that mitigate the impact of landfills on the environment. Then in 8.11, we will discuss the process of sewage treatment, including primary, secondary, and tertiary treatment. Then we will learn about lethal dose, 50%, which could also be known as LD50, which is how we will define lethal dose, and then we'll explain how it differs from between substances. Then we'll learn about the dose response curve, and we'll define what that is, and then interpret data given on a dose response curve. After that, in 8.4, pollution and human health. Oh, not 8.4, 8.14, pollution and human health. We will discuss how pollutants can contribute to human health issues because we're not only messing up the environment, we're also messing ourselves up. Um,
This is
After
true.
that, lastly in this unit, 8.15, pathogens and infectious disease.
Hmm.
We will examine factors that promote the occurrence and movement of pathogens and infectious diseases. Um, then we will discuss conditions that lead to viral and bacterial infections that can spread via contaminated water and human contact. So, like in Africa with the cholera epidemic. And then we will explore infectious diseases associated with the bite of mosquitoes and other vectors like cholera. So, yes, that is it. Do you have any words to say, Anthony?
I have a lot of words to say. My mic died. Just for like using. Yes, actually, I have a few. I have a few notes at hand here. Um, so wait a minute. So
Yeah.
first of all, 8.1, what you were talking about. What was it?
Oh, look, it's on.
It's gonna die in like 2 seconds. The sources of pollution. Now, some ideas to take away from this is that point source pollution refers to a single source you can actually point to, such as like a sewer pipe, factory discharge, or waste from a contaminated animal feeding operation. CAFOs, which we
K-phones?
yeah, which we talked about in. Ate me, oh brother, oh you.
No, I'm gonna come after you.
Oh.
But you know what? Yeah, I will take that.
And then we also have non-point source pollution, which is an accumulation of contaminants from many sources over a wide area, not from a single source of property. Examples include sediments, fertilizers, pesticides, and animal waste from agricultural, industrial, or urban runoff. And then on topic 8.2, human impact on ecosystems, some ideas to take away from this lesson are that all organisms have a range of tolerance for environmental conditions like dissolved oxygen and temperature, and physiological stress occurs at species that as species approach the upper and lower limits of that specific range of tolerance. And I'll go more in depth into this on Unit 9. But corals are threatened by sedimentation, destructive fishing techniques, and increasing ocean temperatures. Um, and the excess nutrients can result in conditions with low dissolved oxygen levels. These are known as dead zones. And then an oxygen sag curve plots the relationship between distance from an input of pollution and dissolved oxygen levels in the aquatic system. And I know I was talking about this so much in earlier units, but we have to talk about eutrophication since it was brought up so much. And eutrophication is it happens when like a waterway receives excess nutrients, which causes massive algae blooms. Like my example here, I have Lake Erie, where like toxic algae and biomagnet. Oh, I'm not. Eutrophication is eutrophication is bad because it allows for like the growing of toxic algae, which can threaten the drinking water. And especially here in Lake Erie, it can threaten like the drinking water of 11 million people in Ohio. Ohio Riz. And impact tourism, fishing, and recreation. Um, and then we also have biomagnification. Um, biomagnification is like I don't have a definition up, but it's like defined as like let's say let's say you're a little frog, right? And then um like you get eaten by a predator, but like when you were a frog, you were living in contaminated sewer water. And then you had like toxins in your system, and like the predator ate you, and now that predator is gonna have and now and now some of that the predator that ate you, it's also gonna have it's gonna have some of the toxins, and it basically just goes up the trophic pyramid up to like the apex predators, and it affects. Hmm? No, but like it like affects because you can like biomagnification. Not only does it happen to like the apex predators too, like it goes up the trophic pyramid, but it also like it goes to their offspring as well. And I feel like that's like the oh actually over here it says apex predators suffer the greatest effects of biomagnification because bioaccumulation has concentrated the substance in their fatty tissues. You have a lot of fatty tissues.
So, Anthony, how do you feel about this unit? What's the easiest part?
I feel like the I just talked about it, biomagnification. Like it was pretty easy.
What do you think is the hardest part?
The hardest part would be oh um I feel like you just have to memorize a lot. Like with every unit, you have to memorize a bit. Like the sources of pollution, they already talk about it in so much units. Stop acting like a hot mess. But like you should definitely learn about eutrophication and biomagnification, and you should also learn about the lethal dose, also known as LD50. I feel like that's pretty important.
Yeah, I struggle with this unit. I don't know. I felt like it was a little hard.
I think this is like when I started to like low key skip Miss Antoine's class. So I really don't remember much of this unit. I had to like the day before the AP exam, I had to like study this unit.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's all we have for you guys today. I'm Jaden Calderon,
And I'm Anthony Santos.
and this is the 8th installment of the Tapes podcast.
See you
See you soon.